So, before I started going to school as a child, I think I didn't realize that speaking Spanish and English was different, and not that like everyone did it. So when I first started going to kindergarten, I realized that, you know, I spoke two languages, whereas opposed to many kids just spoke one. And through the attention, or through the fact that I was different, I became embarrassed of my Spanish, so I slowly stopped speaking it to my parents. And it started to pose a problem because all my family living in Spain and in Venezuela only speak Spanish. So when they would call or whenever we'd get to see them, they would speak to me in Spanish, and I would either reply through my parents or just simply nod, even though I understood what they were saying. So finally one summer my dad told me that me and him were going to go on a vacation to visit my family, and I was so excited. I hadn't seen my cousins and my grandparents in a really long time. So after 5 days of vacationing, I woke up one morning. I didn't see my dad in the guest bedroom that we had been staying together in. So I walked outside, and I asked my grandma where my dad was, and she simply responded that he went back to Chicago and that I was going to be staying the rest of the summer alone in Spain with them. So I called my mom, and I was bawling. I was hysterical. I threw a huge temper tantrum because ultimately, as much as I loved my family and felt safe with them, the only form of communication was Spanish. So I remember hanging up the phone and being upset. My grandpa finally calming me down and me asking for milk. And I had just been saying milk because I refused to speak Spanish. And after, a long conversation with my grandpa trying to communicate that I wanted milk, I simply remember pointing to the milk and pouring myself a glass and me saying milk and him responding leche, which is milk in Spanish. So that was kind of my first moment of realization where I had to now conform to this culture that was essentially my home culture, but it had become foreign to me because of the distance and because I was not physically present. So throughout the summer, I slowly started speaking Spanish more, becoming more comfortable, and really capturing and immersing myself in the culture. And I remember by the end of the summer when I was coming back to Chicago being nervous because I thought, now how am I supposed to go back and, go back to English, go back to this American way of life. But then slowly, through summers after that I continuously go back to Spain, I'm able to merge these both cultures together, as well as, have these go back and forth and be able to fit into both cultures. And I'm really thankful for my parents, as much as it was so terrifying right when I woke up to be completely alone in a foreign country. I thank them because I really do value my Spanish, and this really tied in together that most recently I was able to, when I was visiting my family in Spain over Christmas break, I was able to go alone to Barcelona for a week and stay alone, and really, another opportunity to immerse myself in the culture. And I was able to do that, to go alone and have this experience by myself, because I'm so comfortable with the culture and because I'm so comfortable with the language, that I've really embraced it and it's allowed me so many opportunities that I'm so thankful for. So, looking back on it, I'm so thankful. But 6-year-old Sophie was scared and uncertain and not sure how to control these two different cultures, these two different worlds. So I was really thankful for my parents to give me the opportunity to finally mesh these two worlds together and be able to fit in this bicultural world.